Hello, this is Beta Ray Ben for Pixel Spank, and today I'm playing The Death and Return of Superman. Take a look at this title screen. They've forgotten to put a background on. How boring is that? They did the logo, of which is awful, and nothing more. Metropolis, present day. A peaceful summer evening when suddenly... Evening, day, clearly night. A lot's going on time-wise. A complete power failure, in summer no less. Probably a lot of AC usage. That'd be it, wouldn't it? Deep inside the Metropolis power plant, the Underworlders celebrate their takeover. You know, the Underworlders. This looks like a job for... the Superman. I always like referring to him as the Superman, as I think he was originally called. Level 1, Siege of the Underworlders. I feel like the bloody S in the background there, it's an S. House of L, my arse. Sort of gives away, and the title as well, that Superman may die here. Right. So we got Punch. Oh, he can just fly. That's surprising. I-beams, lasers, whatever you want to call them. He looks pretty buff. I like the way his torso... he's not doing it here, but when he does that little punch, just above his abs, all four of them, his torso kind of shakes a bit. Fuck me. Got a fucking minigun. But according to Superman Returns, that would have no effect. Right. If in doubt, I have got a special attack. I have no idea what it is, but I've got it. Wait, what is that? It's a little drilling device. It looks like something from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Fuck off. Fuck off. Damn it. Superman has died. That's how he dies. Alright. Well, Superman won't take damage from this. He's immune to such nonsense. It's annoying. You can fly, but you can't just simply look down and attack. So currently it's a useless ability. But I applaud its inclusion. Right, we're ready for this. Oh, that was his special. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I was hoping for something more. So in this version, Superman has the powers of flight, his atomic vision, or slightly elevated vision, I would say. He's got some element of super strength. He doesn't have his invulnerability, as I've died twice already. I definitely don't have super speed. I swear that's the ability of Superman's that gets missed out, like the absolute most and stuff, is that he has super speed, like he's on par with the Flash. Because it's such an overpowered ability compared to all of the other ones, which are also overpowered. When you realise he has that, it's like, oh, so any enemy at all that he fights also has to have that super speed. Otherwise, there's frankly no point. You wouldn't be able to comprehend it, like anything going on. Hulk is strong. He can't really deal with super speed though, can he? Well, I mean he can tank it, but that's not the point. The hell is that? A little tick came in. A little fucking gremlin rolling out of nowhere. This is one buff Superman, isn't it? So I'm told at various points, i.e. I read a brief synopsis, that you get to play as other characters in this. Now, given that it's based off the death of Superman, or the death and return, I'm guessing those other characters, Cyborg Superman, because he replaces Superman for a bit. I feel like Steel also does. And then, in my head, Bizarro might get a look in. And also, possibly Lobo for some reason. I'm thinking certainly though, at least Cyborg Superman and what did I say? Steel will probably be in there. They might be the same thing. No. Steel is a guy in a suit. That's why he's called Steel, isn't it? These enemies, they're annoying. So far, it's not a grand get. What the fuck is that? Oh, it's a tick riding a little kind of hover car. I think every single tick enemy that has arrived on screen hasn't actually been trying to fight me. They've just been commuting. The underworld. Is this health? It is. Why is it a blue S? Who knows? Alright, so I just got stun locked there. That's a bastard. Falling rocks can hit him despite his super speed and his invulnerability. This is a man who flew in and out of the sun in 1 or 2 books. This is a man who can juggle planets, if you go by Silver Age logic. You know what game I've never played, and I will one day play just for the channel, is the Superman N64 game. Is it Superman 64? I feel like it has a subtitle, but I can't think what it is. You know, widely regarded as like the worst game ever. I need to try and keep track. I don't think dying brings back your, what's it called? Bollocks. Special. No, it doesn't. I thought at first you could charge this shoot attack, but I think you can just hold it. It doesn't seem to do more damage. It does pathetically low damage, and it doesn't stun lock them for long enough. And I don't think it can kill them. I think it can get them down to essentially 1 health. Oh, fuck. What? There's no... You can't run? You can only move at this speed? Normally you double tap and that's how you run. I'll give them credit for letting you fly though. They didn't have to do that. I mean, it's entirely useless as far as I can tell. Also, it's a bit of a dick move in a side-scrolling beat-em-up to only give you essentially 1 attack move, which is punch. Because the shooting is pointless, the special is pointless. If you give us at least 1 more, that gives us like a few options. Normally punch and kick's what you have. You get that and then suddenly you've got combos. Whereas currently my only combo is that. The game does it all for me. Is it time to address the elephant in the room as well? Like, Superman is clearly ripped here. That's fine. I've got no beef with that. The size of his package though, like... What's going on down there? He's clearly got a massive schlong. Right, I must defeat the Clawster. Right, so this does pathetic damage. That does no damage. Right. I feel like my special could have done more. I should be able to get him. Hopefully he doesn't have a second stage. He does look like a shitty, mouldy version of Doomsday as well. Alright, fair play. That's quite a good pose to strike at the end there. Who in the hell is that? Newsflash! A being of unknown origin is heading for Metropolis, destroying everything in its path. Not even the Justice League can stop it. They've said can, as though they haven't tried, but the news is predicting that they can't. Doomsday is here. Why is he wearing green spandex? Did Doomsday wear that? I don't think he did. Only Superman can save us now. Also, the Justice League exists in this. In my head, this story always exists like outside of the Justice League, as though they're not sort of mentioned. Because I've never actually read the comic. I only know it through things based on it, and then also I think I saw the animated film Superman Doomsday. Alright, so we're in a level that... These are just men with Molotovs. Men named Chainsaw, apparently. And Molotov. Okay, that one makes sense. I'm about to go and fight Doomsday, and these ordinary men are trying to stop me. With chainsaws, no less, but still. What's going on there? Guys, you can't fight this. I can literally fly. Oh god, I just realised the weirdest part of flying. When you're on the ground, you can go up, down, left and right, right? Like, it's like it's sort of semi-3D, can't you? But when you're in the air, it changes. I can't change my location on the Y plane whatsoever. I can only go up and down in the now new Z plane. That's incredibly weird. It means that once you pick off flight, you pretty much always land exactly where you took off. I couldn't have done better there. I mean, the game is called The Death of Superman, so in a sense I've won. Where's it going to bring me back, do we think? Well, at least it's in this level. Start of the level? Probably. Yeah, I didn't really get far enough to deserve a checkpoint, did I? Is Molotov throwing enemies at arseholes? They're way too powerful because they can throw from such a big distance. I don't like the way the chainsaw enemies keep going for my dick, even though it is so prominent and clearly massive. Look at it. In fact, I'm gonna be honest. I think what we're seeing, if I could pause it for a second, I reckon what you're actually seeing at the front is he's just got a massive scrotum, and his dick is so large that he's actually had to tuck it around his leg to his left-hand side, coming towards us on camera. If you look, that appears to be the way he's packing. I mean, he is the Superman after all. It's to be expected. But my God, why do they have to be so literal with it? Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the same size. Right, this, as always in games like this, the absolute best way of attacking is just that. Because they can't seem to block it. It's got the best distance. And it knocks them down in one. And normally it'll be 50-50 whether it will work on a boss. Oh, I've got my special back. Which I should always use on these enemies, because from fighting Cocknor or whatever his name was, we've learned that it does fuck all damage to bosses. They're on motorbikes now? Ah, you bastards. That would have been hilarious if I'd have thrown your motorcycle at you. Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. Also, he has an infinite supply of Molotovs, so we're just going to ignore that. Also, they've just flat out called him Molotovs. Did you normally have those in video games like this? Like this? It's actually quite a violent game, actually, from that respect. I mean, I started off fighting just some underworld types. Fair enough, but these are just some motorbikers. Or does this imply that Lobo is in the game? Because they already used like some motorbiking imagery in his character. They're like, well, we might as well just, you know, we've done the work, we've got the art. Oh no, how will I get past this? Oh. Nearly got hit by this wrecking ball that makes no sense. The last level I had a much higher ceiling than this one. As in, you could fly and go up a bit and see at least something. This one doesn't have that. Yeah. You may have Molotovs, Molotov, but I have this. Shit. It's time. Oh, he's just here. And that's the death of Superman. Okay, also he's taken off the remainder of his clothing and got the classic sort of Doomsday look going on. My plan is to essentially fight him here where that wrecking ball will wreck him occasionally. I always find that that's the solution. When Superman's like really losing a fight to a big bad enemy like that, it's eventually one of them will get a weapon and they'll realise, oh, we should have had a weapon all along. No matter how strong we are, a big old hammer amplifies it. Behold, I'm chasing down Doomsday, and the bikers have just decided to get on board with it. I understand the Justice League thinks they can't do anything against Doomsday, but surely they can handle Chainsaw and Molotov while Superman does the actual work. Maybe they're part of the league that thinks that all children or all people should be circumcised. They've heard that Superman isn't, which realistically he probably wouldn't be. I don't know why I'm assuming that actually. And like they're trying to rectify it now in the most vicious way possible. I mean, they must have Q&A'd that because it connects in the same place every single time. It's always at like bell end level. The Molotovs hit him in the face, and that's somehow less visceral. I mean, they've designed it that way as well. Look at the package. Alright. Just sent me into flight mode. Behold. That's the first time I think I've ever hit an enemy with a projectile. Every other time I've thrown it far over their heads because he throws it in a massive arc. Because he's Superman and he's used to fighting like giant, hideous monster-like enemies as opposed to a couple of bikers who I don't think have broken any laws. Unless Lex Luthor suddenly decided to hire bikers. Really boring backgrounds, aren't they? Not a lot going on so far. It's a minor thing, but something worth noting. In my mind, the ultimate beat 'em up for Super Nintendo is Teenage Mutant Ninja Hero Turtles. I've added too many words in there. Turtles in Time. Fuck you. I don't know how well that holds up because I haven't played it in ages, but in my mind, it's fantastic and the best one. This is not that. I just got something. I don't know what it was. Some kind of one-up. Alright, fuck me. I mean, that laser beam, it should shoot in a straight-out beam and just hit everything in front of you. You don't need to make it a challenging game, guys. We're playing as Superman. We've already decided. If we wanted it to be a hard beat-em-up with a superhero character, we would have picked Batman, Spider-Man, possibly Wolverine if he's inexplicably not got his healing factor. Wolverine as a character has, I would say, 3 different superpowers, doesn't he? He's got the claws, and now I'll also subtitle Adamantium Skeleton into there, but that's less relevant. He's got the claws. They're represented in basically every video game and every property Wolverine is in, I would say. They do that. They do that across the board. He's got the healing factor, which exists in some of the video games. Not many of them, though. Generally, it's not there. I can understand from a balance point of view why it's not there, but at the same time, it's kind of his shtick. He also has enhanced senses, which is almost never there. Just a quick NB at the end of that. That doesn't include the one good Wolverine game that exists, which is inexplicably based on the worst Wolverine film, one of the worst films, the X-Men Origins Wolverine. The video game for that is actually a really good game. It's inexplicably good. It's only marred when they try and link it back to the film in which it's based on. It's good enough that I've played through it multiple times. Doomsday. He's as strong as Superman. He gets stronger after every loss somehow. He can't be killed, possibly. He hates Kryptonians. I don't think you're meant to win this fight. Actually, I'm not sure now. Because before he was kind of like, he was stomping me. But all he has is Superman's strength, durability, and I'm going to assume a bit of his speed. He can't fly. Was that? No, that wasn't the time to die. That wasn't a scripted death there. That was just him being me. He can't fly. He hasn't got like super hearing, or if he's got speed, it's not at Superman's level. If this is the start of the level, I am out. I'm out. That's it. Not touching that one again. So that was the death and return of Superman, the hottest game in 1994. Now, I played this because I was under suspicion it was made by Blizzard for some reason. But it's actually saying that it's made by Sunsoft, which isn't that. So I'm just entirely wrong. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Oh, I've got this here actually. If I did better, and I couldn't have even used cheats for this because I looked it up, and the only cheats that are available are a pain in the ass to put in. I could have played as Superboy. Yeah, Superman, Superboy, Steel, Cyborg Superman, the Eradicator, and Doomsday himself. Oh. Is there any... Apparently there's quite a big plot here going on as well. Let's see. So I should have... if I fight Doomsday... Oh, we each give each other a killing blow. And then 3 months later, 4 Supermen emerge in an effort to replace me, i.e. Superman. Whilst the... Where am I? Whilst the other claiming he is indeed the original... So 4 Supermen emerge in an effort to replace the original Superman, right? Whilst the other claiming he is indeed the original Superman. That just doesn't make sense. So it shifts to Cyborg Superman as he attacks Project Cadmus to locate a comatose Doomsday. Right. Then you play as the Eradicator, the last son of Krypton. However, he's forced into battle with Steel because the Eradicator kills enemies. They fight to a standstill and they reconsider their issues. And then a spacecraft arrives and obliterates Coast City, in brackets hometown of Hal Jordan. It gives weird details, the plot synopsis for this. The Eradicator investigates, only to run into the mastermind. Only to run with the mastermind, the Cyborg. Not Cyborg Superman, just the Cyborg. Then it focuses to Superboy as he attempts to handle Metropolis. My god. And it just goes on like that. This is for a beat 'em up. The first paragraph of which we played through, and you saw how much story was involved there. Yes, that's... Yeah, the death and return of Superman. It's a terrible title, isn't it? Like, just call it Superman Doomsday or some shit. I don't know. Look at the package, though. They gave him 4 abs and just an enormous schlong. I can't... It's like always in the middle of the screen as well, no matter what you do. It's just... It just steals focus. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.